Hello, everyone. Hello, I hope you're all doing fine. I would like to say sorry to start with everything that happened last week. My internet was playing about, and I tried and tried, it didn't work. And then these couple of days I've been in bed and everything, so now I feel a little bit more energized. I feel a little bit more, how can I say it? Have my head on. So I can answer to your questions. I've got a list of questions here that people have asked in advance. Like I said, a lot of you have asked me questions. So I'm going to try and answer to them. But if you that are watching still have questions or anything, please don't hesitate to ask. I will still answer your question. I'm just going to take my list of questions. Sorry, my my throat, my notes. Here you go. So I've got plenty. I've got a list of like 15 questions. So let's start from the beginning. So from the beginning, I have a question to say, what do you feel? What do I feel? I feel robbed from a lot of things that I used to do that I can't do anymore. I feel separated from the world. Things that I used to do, things that I love to do, I can't do them as easy, or I can't even do them at all. So, yeah, I feel very isolated. But, you know, life goes on. Even though there's a lot I can't do, there's still much that I can do. So I'm trying to live with it like that. There's no choice. Then there's another question, say, how do you accept your condition? How do I accept my condition? Well, at first, I didn't accept it at all. It took me about a year for me to accept this condition. A year that I was at home, I was behind closed doors. I didn't want to see anybody. I was depressed. I was like asking myself a question all the time: why me? Why me? Why me? All the time. So I felt really isolated. I felt like I'm not ready for nobody. I'm not ready to see anybody. I'm not ready to hear anything from anybody. I have to put my head straight first. So it was really hard for me to understand, and it was really hard for me to get on with it. So it took me about a year to really accept it and open my door to some friends, and going out. Even at the beginning, even going to the coffee shop, it wasn't possible, because I just couldn't. So now, thanks God, I can do a bit of everything. Not as long as before, not as easily or as quickly as before, but I can still do a few things. So I hope I answered the question. Now, my next question is, what does it mean for you a long-term condition? Well, a long-term condition is something that's not going to go away. You have to live with it. You have to learn how to understand your body, to manage the pain, to manage your way about. It's a long term. It's going to be your whole life. So the only thing is you have to try to manage it, to associate your life to that illness, to that condition, then have a decent life. Because if you don't do so, you will be in depression all the time. So accepting it, living through it the best you can, because lifetime is lifetime. It's a long term, so it's not going to change overnight. just learn how to live with it and how to deal with it as quickly as possible, basically. Right. Next question. Has your attitude changed towards others? Yes or no? My attitude changed towards people that has changed towards me. Let's face it. If you change towards me, I'll change. If you are one of my best friend that you were there when it happened, you understand it, and you knew how to take me from the beginning, my attitude has not changed. I don't think it did change. But I've got a couple of friends, maybe they can come on and tell you exactly. My attitude hasn't changed towards everybody. If your attitude changed towards me, yes, I will change, which is natural. You have to understand that there are things that you want me to do that I can't do. And you have to accept it. You have to understand it. Some people don't. So obviously, if you don't understand that, my attitude will change. Because if you say, let's say, oh, let's go to the club, I won't be doing that. So people may think, oh, I've changed, but no, I haven't changed. I just can't do certain things. So you have to understand me, and you have to be able to accept what you see. It's not the Marie Louise I was before. It's not the same that I am now. So as a friend, you should understand and manage. Yeah, that's the question. I hope I answered to that question too. I'm just trying my best. I hope people that ask a question, please do send me a message if I answered your question or not. Yeah. Next one. They say, what is your day-to-day life like? My day-to-day, I think I've answered to that already once. My day-to-day is pretty much non-existent. I cannot decide today, just right now, to get out. I have to plan it. I have to put it in my head. I have to understand it. I have to know exactly how I'm getting there, how I'm getting back. And I have to understand how to deal with it once I'm outside. Because it's all good to say, yes, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But if my head is not there, I won't be able to do it. And every day I'll be in bed. I am in bed every time, because my head is always spinning. I feel, when I stand up, I feel like I'm gonna faint, or I'm gonna pass out, or something like that. So I'm always at home, I'm always in bed, and everything else, you know, I talk to my son in bed. I will sit down a couple of minutes, and then my head will start spinning. Even sitting down, sometimes it does it. So I have to go into my bed. So I'm always in bed. But my son understands, because he went through the journey with me. So he knows that mommy is not well, mommy is this, mommy is that. So he knows how to deal with it. He doesn't mind me being in bed. If anything, he'll come to my room, we'll have a chat, and then he'll go back his business. So that's my everyday life. Yeah. And then the next question is, have you lost some of your senses? Yes, I did. I lost a lot of my senses. In terms of remembering things, sometimes I get lost. I don't remember everything. I could be talking, and then I will pass out. My brain will be gone, not pass out, but my brain will switch off. Hence why I ask you to ask a question beforehand. Then I have it done. I can read it and I can answer to it. Because I could be saying something, and then the next minute I will forget very much everything I said, if I don't answer to it, if I don't follow it. So yeah, things have changed. My memory have changed a bit. And unfortunately, that's how it goes. There's nothing I can do, and I just have to try and remember, or try and do more things to keep my memory going. That's why, in a way, I'm doing this YouTube channel, and I have a TikTok channels as well. It kept me going with the YouTube, especially. It kept me talking, and I can go back and listen to myself, and then my memory keep working, because I can hear myself. I can hear whatever happened before, and I can relieve it again. So, yeah, some things have changed, and unfortunately, that's how it is. There's nothing I can do. It changed, and that's life. I have to stop saying that's life, because I have a friend that always said, "Don't say that's life," because if you say that's life, that means you're accepting it and you're living it. Yes or no? That's life, because I can't change it. So yes, that's life, but it's the meaning behind that's life sometimes is wrong. But yeah, I say that's life, but that doesn't mean I'm already down with everything. No, I still trying to get better. I still trying my best to not say that's life, if you understand what I mean. But yeah. Okay, next question say, how did it happen? How did it happen? Well, it was just 2 years ago on Mother's Day. I woke up in the morning. I had well, before that, a couple of weeks, months, I had a pain in my shoulder, on my right shoulder, and the pain still, it never went away. I did physio, I did everything possible. I did a cold, I did a heat, I had a medication. Nothing was working. And then on Mother's Day, my son is a basketball player. He had a game, and I woke up in the morning. I had a headache, so I took a paracetamol. Like everybody else, you have a headache, you take a paracetamol, you go about your business. So we had a breakfast and we left for the game. At the game, I was still in pain. My pain never goes away. I was still in pain, the shoulders, head, everything. But I managed to sat through the game, and cheering and everything, you know. And then once we finished, we went shopping. Managed to do the shopping, nothing wrong. Then we sat down for dinner. We came back, we cooked, we sat down for dinner. It was me, my daughter, and my son, all three of us. We just sat down for dinner. And then I couldn't sit straight anymore. Here, really painful. It was a bit swollen. It was hot, and I felt dizzy. I felt like I'm gonna pass out, and I couldn't even express myself properly. My daughter was so scared. She called the ambulance. The ambulance came. Then, they did all the checks and everything, and they said, well, because one side of my face was going down, they were scared of, okay, maybe it's a stroke I'm having. So the best way is to take me to the hospital. So they took me to the hospital, and I was in the hospital for, all in all, for about 3.5 weeks. The first day I went, because it was a night time, there wasn't the MRI scan wasn't open, because the emergency apparently don't really use the scan, the MRI scan, so they couldn't scan my head and see what was wrong and blah blah blah. So I was kept there. The next morning, I was kept in pain, painkillers upon painkillers and everything. And then the next morning, they managed to do the MRI. They do the scan. They did everything. Nothing was wrong. But I was there. I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. But I was just sitting there. I mean, lying down there. And then the doctor came again and said, well, we don't know what's wrong with you yet, but we're still checking. We're still, doing few things. And soon we'll be able to tell you how, what happened. And I was like, okay. So a couple of days, nothing. I keep asking, my kids keep asking, what's wrong with mommy? What's wrong with mommy? But nobody could tell them. They said, well, they're waiting for the neuro to come. So a couple of days after that, the neuro came. And when the neuro came, examined me and everything. And then they said, well, it's something to do with your nerves. But what they don't know yet. I said, okay. I was there a week, 2 weeks, nothing. The third week, then the neuro came back again and they said, well, this is what you've got. You've got something called FND. I was like, what the hell is that? FND. They say, well, no, FND is functional neurological disorder. It is something that happens to one person out of 1,000. And it depends what side of your body it happened. If it happened on the heart side, it's a stroke. If you happen on the other side, then it's called FND. And the FND is a nerve. It's like a switch that went off in your brain. There's a switch because all the nerves and everything is connected into your brain, obviously. So one switch went off, and that switch, there's no way they'll bring it back. Once it goes off, it goes off. They can manage for you to live as best as possible, but nobody can put the switch back on. The good thing, I mean, is that it wasn't on the heart side. That would have been a complete, you know, stroke, and it would have been even worse. So I'm thanking God that it was on the other side anyway, and everything is fine. So anyway, 3 weeks down the line, I was still in the hospital. I couldn't do anything. But then because they already diagnosed me now, I said, you've got FND. Well, I can't stay in the hospital anymore. I have to go because there's nothing they can do. I have to go. I have to follow physio. I have to do a lot of things. I have to try and manage. So I was discharged. And then the funny thing happened is when I got discharged, I had an accident in the lift, the hospital lift. I was in the lift going down with the porter, and there was an elderly couple and a young couple. We were six in the lift. The lift dropped from the second floor to the lower ground. Snap. The lift dropped. That obviously pushed me to another level. Now my head is all over the place. I was in pain. I was crying. Everybody, we were screaming. So they have to call the fire brigade to come. They took the time, and finally they came. They took us out and straight back to A&E. Me, I refused to stay in A&E because I was already on the hospital for 3 weeks. I didn't want to hear the hospital anymore. I just want to go and deal with my problem. But that was a mistake because when I left the hospital, I came back home. I was so much in pain. I had spasms, I have a dizziness, I had everything in the same time. And that must have triggered something else. So I couldn't really stay focused to anything. But I lived through it, and yeah, that was it. That was how it happened, just out of the blue. Nobody knows why and how. They asked me, do I have a blood pressure? I'm like, no, you can ask my GP. I never had a blood pressure. The only thing I had was preeclampsia. That is when you're pregnant and your blood pressure goes up. But once you give birth, it goes, and that's it. You don't keep it. So I never had a blood pressure before. And now suddenly they're asking me all this question. And they said again, did you have any trauma in your life? Have you lost somebody? Have you done this? Have you done? I'm like, well, the only person I've lost so far, well, not so far, that really, really affected me was obviously my parents. My mom 16 years ago. Yeah, but it was 16 years ago. I mean, come on, 16 years. And then I had my brother, which at the time was 5 years ago. But that, I don't think, for me anyway, maybe the doctors, they know their job, they knows what they, why they're saying that. But for me, 2 years, 4 years, 16 years couldn't be anything to trigger anything. So, well, I have accepted it. I have a blood pressure now. I take tablets, and that's it. So everything just happened out of the blue. It's not that anything triggered it. So, like I said, nothing will trigger it. So, if you've got a friend, if you've got a family, a sister, anybody that have a problem like this, that sometimes we lose the memory or have a headache, always constant headache or shoulder pain or anything like that, please do not leave it long. Please do not let the person suffer. Try and get more answers. Go to your GP. They will send you back with painkillers, but try something else. Tell them you need to have like um a blood test done. You need to know what is going on and everything. Because believe me or not, if I have done that, maybe God knows I wouldn't have had that. But I was so good. They give me painkillers and I go away. They send me a heat patch and I put it on and I shut off. They said go to this and I do it and I say I never pushed forward. I never try and push anything. So please don't do what I did. Try and push it forward and see what can be done further. Right. Next question on my list is um how did your kid cope with my situation? My kids, bless them, they are very, really, really good. My big girl, she's my rock, and my son, he's my sweetheart. They are really kind. They are really um present. They know that this is a time they have to look after mommy. They know this is the time that mommy need them. At first, when it happened, my son, bless him, he was so much in pain. I felt like he was the one sick. He will, every time he need to go out, before he goes out and he comes back anytime, he's not a, he's a young lad. He will go out, see his friends and come back anytime. But since I fell ill, it's like when he want to go out, he'll say, Mom, I'll be back. I'll be I'm going real quick, I'll be back. And truly, he'll go 5 minutes, maximum 10 minutes, and he'll be back because he knows I'm alone at home. And I keep telling him, I am not dying. You can go and stay a bit longer. You can go and spend time with your friend and come back. But obviously, he doesn't. He will go 5 minutes, he will come back. 5 minutes, he'll come back. Sorry. He'll go 5 minutes, he'll come back. And then every time like this, every time, all day long, he will go 5 minutes, he'll come back. 5 minutes, he'll come back. I'm like, that's really kind. That's really nice of you. But please don't do that because it makes me worried that I'll make you worried, you know. So eventually he cut it down a bit. He goes out a bit longer and now he's fine. My daughter, same thing. She will, even though she doesn't live here anymore, she will come, she will cook for me, she will do a lot of things and then she'll go back. As soon as she get in, she'll call me. And they really they at the beginning, because I wasn't coping, they were not coping. But now that I've lived through it and I know that this is how it is and that's how I have to live, they're living the same as well. They're living it day after day. Is Yeah, that's it. That's something that's not going to change. That's mommy, and we just have to deal with it the way it is. So yeah, I hope I answered that question. Now, next question. Next question says, are you hoping to go back to work? I would love to go back to work. I love what I do. I love what I do. Teaching art, going from schools to school, meeting different people every day. I would love to go back to work. But unfortunately, at the moment I can't because of the dizziness, because of the tiredness. I cannot sit 5 minutes and said I'm going to be teaching. I cannot travel. My job required a lot of travel. I can leave my house in the morning and go to Birmingham today and come back. I can leave and go to Newcastle or stay 2 days there and come back. I can leave and go anywhere in the UK. I will go and I will come back. That was my job. And I loved my job because it's something my mum, well, not my mum, but there was a say that said, if you do what you love, you're never going to work one day in your life. And that's me. I love what I do, and I never felt like I'm working because I love driving. I love going out and see people. I love talking to kids. Kids loved me. I love kids. So my job is talking to people. I go to primary school, secondary school, university, community center, anywhere they're doing arts, I am there. So talking to people, doing various things, that's me. And that's what I like. So yeah, I'm hoping one day, even if it's not every day, at least once a week or twice a week, I'm hoping to go back. That would be lovely. If I find a driver, maybe that will work. If I find a driver that will drive me around, if I'm rich enough to pay him, then he'll be driving me, and then I won't be that much tired because I will just go do my job and go back. So yeah, until then, unfortunately, I can't. Right. Next question is what is the day to day? I've answered to that already. Have you lost some of your functions? Yes, I have. And I've answered to that as well. There is a question that it says, "Hi Marie, just wondering if the doctor suggested a way or things you should do or not do to minimize the effect of your condition on your daily activity." Yes, they did. They did because I went about a year ago. I went to a rehab center. This center was for 3 weeks, and they have physio, they have a mental therapist, they have a lot of things, and they teach you, they will tell you, they will show you how you can live better. They will show you a video of people that have the same illness you are with other people. It wasn't just me. We were six, and we all have the same thing. So we go through we see we see somebody first in the beginning. We'll see somebody that analyze our mental illness, and then we'll see the physical part, and then we'll see the illness part, which is three different things, but we have to check it every time. And every day your mental appearance change every day, because you learn every day. You get different things, you get different ways of moving, you get different ways of dealing with the pain. They'll teach you how to tap your fingers to deal with the pain. When you're in a pain, you have to close your eyes and deal with the pain. And instead of taking medication all the time, dealing with the pain as much as you can, tapping, counting, listening to music. You have to zoom out of your body basically to be able to deal with the pain. So yeah, they have suggested a lot of things. Medication wise, there's only one medication that I take no, two that I take every day. One for the dizziness and one for the blood pressure. And then occasionally when something is wrong, they will add something else, but it's just those two every day. Right. And then they said, how do you cope with these challenges and getting temporary relief mood? Oh, well, I just answered to that. That is just the way you cope with the pain. You have to try and see what works for you. Obviously everything does not work for you. You have to tap and get the way, something that works for you. It won't work for everybody. Something that works for you. So tapping or to doing this, or you one of your part of your body rubbing or anything, you have to try and find a way what works for you. And what works for me was the tapping, fingers and hands, and rubbing and all that. That works for me, and that's what I do. So yeah. Now there's a question. Last week I was supposed to do a live, but unfortunately my internet was playing about. But there's one question that came through, and I read the question and I smiled. Somebody asked me very, very naughty question and said, how do I get on with my sexual life? Wow. I was like, does that exist? Is this something that I have to talk about? I don't know. But it's hard. It's hard. Trying is like, no, the pain, and I don't know. I don't know. Maybe when it happened and when it's better, I will come back and tell you guys. But for now, I think I'm gonna leave that question. Thank you very much for that question. I will think about it. I'll try it, then I will let you know. Right. That's all my questions. If any of you have a different question, please ask. If no, then I think everybody, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. And like I said, it's every first of the month. So the next one will be, if I can tell you right now, the next live will be on the 2nd of March. 2nd of March. There's the second, the third one will come. It's not going to be about FND anymore. It's just going to be about something else. I will tell you before that time what topics, but it's not going to be about FND anymore. I think you know me better now. We talked about everything, but if you do have a question about FND, by all means ask. That will be welcome. I'll still answer it, but I think I've said enough about me that I want to share with you. If you ask, then I will tell you more. But next month will be something else. It will be another topics. So yeah, and there's an exciting news coming. It's not done yet, but it's still on the making. There is a day, Mother's Day, because obviously my things happened to me on Mother's Day 2 years ago. I think this Mother's Day, I want to do something for all mothers that are disabled. Disability is everything. It's a broad thing. It's not FND only. It's every disability. So it is in plan that for Mother's Day, either the week before or the week after Mother's Day, I'll have an event that I will invite some of few ladies to come with their daughters or their son. There will be a makeup artist, there will be a DJ, there will be light food, there will be a lot of goodie bags, there will be so much. I haven't decided everything in um, listed yet, but when it's done, I will post it. And all you need to do if you want somebody to participate is just the email will be there. Just send me the person's name and email address or phone number, and I'll send them their invitation. It's free event. It's not money involved. It's free event. I managed to get all these people for free. They are really good. They really want to give back to the community, back to the people. So it's free event for mothers with their daughters or son. There will be a photographer to take a photo to memorize that for you. And it's either we'll put it on a key or on a CD. We haven't decided exactly how yet, but everything will be done before that time, and you will know about it. I will tell you in my next show. And if you've got candidate that you want them to participate, then obviously I will put my email address. Just send me an email with the name, phone number, or it's nice to receive an invitation for somebody to say, "Oh, you have been invited for a pampering day" or something like that. It'll be really nice to do that, and it'll be if I was invited for something like this, I will be honored. I will be really pleased. So please don't hesitate if you know anybody that is disabled, that is a woman, because obviously it's Mother's Day for women, and that have daughters or son, they can come together, and the day will be well, the day is like 2-3 hours, the makeup, the pictures, and obviously whatever activities there will be a DJ, so we can have a little boogie. So yeah, that is my next news. So I hope everybody will be tuned and next live. You will know everything about it. Now, I would like to say thank you very much again for watching, and I hope I'll see you very, very soon on the first Sunday of the month, next month, first Sunday of the month, 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, first Sunday of the month. Okay, so we've got somebody ask. Oh, thank you very much, and yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye. Bye bye. Stop. Okay, now again. And screaming. Bye bye.